Hey, this is Money B from Digital Underground, and I'm interrupting this Jmix interview to ask all my friends to check out the Going Way Back Show YouTube channel. See you then. Peace.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Hey, Riskie, it's Jesse.
Wait, hold on 1 second, man. I'm turning this sound off real fast. Oh, damn, I gotta watch this. They made other ones. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Real quick before we get into it, I was going to plug Bomb first. I was going to say that I'm talking to Ronald Riskie Brent. Can I say founder of Bomb first, or would you prefer me not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could plug my site, definitely, because that's mine.
Okay. No, I wanted your permission. This is all.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All
Yeah, that's fine. Talk about my site.
All right.
I mean, I don't know, man. You know, my site is kind of a big thing, man. Like, you know, we do 3 million hits on an average monthly.
No, absolutely. I've seen your Facebook, your post of it. I wanted to know if I could show love the Bomb first, and that's what it's all about. It's all love. But I'll go ahead and jump into it because I know you're probably very busy. What point did you know that you wanted to do art as a career?
I kind of knew that I wanted to do art as a career because I grew up doing art. You know what I mean? I mainly did a lot of art when I was in my high school years. So, you know, when you're in your high school years as an adolescent, you know, you kind of make up your mind what you want to be when you grow up. And art was kind of one of the things that I wanted to stick to when I grew up. So that's what I did.
Can you recall the first piece of artwork that you sold?
The first piece of artwork I sold, I believe it was a T-shirt, because I started selling art mainly when I got into airbrushing. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. I can't even say that was the first piece of art I sold, because I remember like doing a lot of pictures on notebook paper, and I used to sell to people at school for dollars here and there. So maybe that might be the first piece of artwork I sold, a drawing on a piece of notebook paper for $1 or something. You know what I mean?
So after high school, did you delve right into artwork, or did you ever consider a different career?
You know what? To be truthfully honest, and this is just being real with myself and being real with the people out there today, because you know I work with a lot of kids, you know what I mean, and try to encourage them to do the right thing. I never really actually graduated from high school. You know what I mean? I spent a majority of my time in art class at high school. I would ditch and go to art to sit in art class all day. You know, I didn't graduate. When I got out, wait, can you say that question for me one more time?
Did you ever pursue a career that wasn't art related?
Okay, yeah. When I got out of high school, back to that, when I got out of high school, I ended up selling drugs. So that could be one career that I ended up getting into that wasn't art related, that I'm not proud of, but it happened.
What was the final pivoting point that took you away from selling drugs and got you to focus just on your artwork?
The final pivotal point for me was my son, watching my son grow up, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be a part of that because I didn't want my son to reflect nothing that I was doing in his future from my past. So I gave that up and I started going more and more into my art career, which I left Compton and I moved to Orange County.
How were you approached by Death Row to do artwork on All Eyez on Me?
You know what? I was approached actually by my boy Hen Dog. Hen Dog, you know, he grew up in the neighborhood that I grew up in. He was an artist. I met him through a brief conversation with a friend of mine. And he kept he kept telling me that, you know what I mean, he wanted me to, you know, airbrush because they had just lost their airbrush artist. You know what I mean? So he had needed an airbrush artist, and I wanted to be on Death Row because I felt like it only made sense for me to be on Death Row because I was from the same neighborhood that it was Death Row was coming from. So it only made sense for me to be a part of it. And I used to watch it every day. You know, lowriders coming through every day. Suge would come through with Dr. Dre's lowrider. Everybody would be following behind him, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I ended up making a couple of avenues, talking to Hen Dog, and Hen Dog ended up eventually approaching me, saying that I could work with him on that project, which was the All Eyes on Me insert.
Was there a theme that they wanted you to follow, or did they give you free reign to be an artist and just create whatever you felt, or did they have a direction for you instantly?
Actually, when I got on, I didn't really even have a direction. I was basically like a cleanup man, you know what I mean? I would get artwork from Joe Cool and Hen Dog. They would give me their sketches. I would sit down, I would clean the drawings up, and I would produce them on canvas. I would airbrush them out and put them on canvas. So I really didn't have no say-so over what direction or art went. My job was just there to paint it. So that's what I did when I first arrived at Death Row in 90. I got there in 96. The beginning of 96.
How did you first find out that your artwork was going to be used on the Tupac album?
I found out my work was going to be used on the Tupac album, on the All Eyes on Me album, because when Hen Dog approached me, he told me that's what it was going to be used for. He said he had talked to Tupac, he had came up with the drawing, and he just needed somebody to airbrush it. So I already knew immediately that it was going to be into the cover. It was going to be into the insert for All Eyes on Me while me working on it.
Wow. Can you tell Tupac Nation about the first time you met Tupac?
The first time I met Tupac, I happened to be airbrushing right across the street from the Compton swap meet. You know what I mean? Which is the same building where I'm airbrushing at now, where I have my own store, the Inkwell. You know, I was here a couple of years ago. Well, I mean, back then when I was younger, I recall seeing like a two-story, like a car carrier, like, and it was filled up with lowriders and stuff. And somebody told me that they were making a video. I didn't really pay any much mind of it. You know what I mean? That it would be Tupac and them making a video over there. You know what I mean? But I ended up having to run an errand and go get some airbrush supplies. When I came back, everybody told me it was Tupac and Death Row was over there shooting a video, and my first thing was, dang, I got to make way over there because I had already made a previous connection with him before. This is before the All Eyes on Me actual jump off, before I got that gig, that I met him. Well, no, what was it after that? I'm trying to think. Was it after the fact? No. It had to be. Yeah, it was before All Eyes on Me. It was before. Yeah, it was right before I did the All Eyes on Me. So long ago, I'm trying to recall. But anyway, to make a long story short, I had came up and I had remembered that that Suge had seen some of my work before. Somebody had made a previous contact with him, and I was like, well, let me try to make my way over here, try to talk to him, you know, to see what could happen. Like, today could be the day that decides if I'm gonna be on Death Row or if I'm not gonna be on Death Row. So when I went across the street, I saw Suge. Suge was surrounded by, like, wow, he had to be at least surrounded by well over 100 people, like, just talking to him, you know what I mean, and just being around him, and then walk off. And I said to myself that if I run up and I say something to him right now in the midst of all of these 100 people talking, he's going to just blow me off because he's going to be trying to get to the next person. So what I did was I stood there, I watched until he talked to the last person, and I just jumped up and I started talking to him. And I started telling him who I was, what my work was, and he asked me if I had the same portfolio that he had seen. I told him, yeah. But the thing about it was I told him that I didn't have it with me, that it was across the street. And he was telling me to go get it. So I just kept begging him, like, you're not going to just walk off or leave or nothing like that. I'm really going to go over and get it. He said, don't trip. He said, go get your portfolio, bring it back. I'm going to be right here. I took off running. I ran across the street. I ran up into the airbrush shop that I was working before. I grabbed my portfolio. They asked me what I was doing. I didn't have time to answer. I just ran out the door. I ran right back across the street, and I walked up to Suge, and I told him, I said, here go the portfolio right here. So I gave him the portfolio. He looked at it. He told me to come go with him. So when I walked with him, he walked up to a van. He opened up the door. Tupac was in there. He told Tupac to get out. Told Tupac I was somebody from the neighborhood or whatever. I was an artist. Tupac started looking through my portfolio. The next thing after that, Tupac was talking about he wanted me to work on America's Most Wanted. That was the first project I was actually supposed to work on. He wanted me to work on doing something for America's Most Wanted. But that didn't go down, and I ended up catching up doing the artwork for the All Eyes on Me album. So I didn't complain. I still got on at the end of the day. I got on.
Do you remember what video shoot it was?
The video shoot that I met Tupac at was for the California Love remix at the Compton Swap Meet. That was my first day meeting him.
Sorry about that. I'm in Chicago. I got a train going by me.
All right.
Can you explain to the fans what the concept was for the Makaveli album? What they approached you or if they approached you, what the concept and the idea was behind that?
You know what? That's a really long story. And it's really hard for me to really remember every pivotal piece about that Makaveli album cover. But I'll give you my recollection on what happened in the process of me creating that cover and what prompted me to do that cover. Okay, I was in the office. I got a phone call. Well, I got a phone call down to my office from Norris Anderson. He told me that he had an idea for me. He told me that it was going to be crazy. I wasn't going to believe it, but I needed to make it happen. Come down to his office. So I said, all right. So I took off down from my office. It's about this time we were at 9171 Wilshire. We had moved out of 8200 Wilshire Boulevard, which we were right across the street from Interscope. We had moved out of that. We had moved further down in the Beverly Hills. So I had my own office there. So I took off from my back office. I headed up to Roy and Norris's office, and I went in, and Roy started explaining to me, and Norris both. What Norris actually explained to me, Roy just sat to the side thinking like, damn, you're going to be crazy. You're going to be tripping off of this. So Norris begins to tell me that he needed me to create Tupac on the cross. Suge just called in, and they're making a new cover for an album. It's going to be called Makaveli, and they need me to create this cover. And we having a meeting tonight, so let me get something together. I went to the back. I created a mock-up cover of Tupac on the cross. I met with Suge. That later on that night at Gladstone's and what was that, Pacific Palisades. We met up at Gladstone's. We had a meeting for the office there. I showed Suge the mock-up cover. Suge liked it. We had a brief conversation. I left. The next day, I started putting it together. I put something together. The day after that, I was meeting up with Tupac at Can-Am Studio to show him what I came up with. He was thrilled. He was tripping off of it. The only thing about it was I didn't put the cross part in that he wanted. The cross part was supposed to represent all the cities that he felt like had crucified him or basically had turned against him. If that's what I can remember correctly. You feel me? He wanted to shout everything out on that. You know what I mean? Naming all of those cities. And also some were cities that he loved.
Is that why the Compton sign is above his head?
Compton sign was above his head. I can't really speak for is that why he wanted the Compton sign above his head. Only Tupac can speak on the life that he lived and the things that he liked when he frequented Compton.
Absolutely. How long did it take you to create the finished product for the day that you finally showed him your finished work?
I mean, it took me a few days to create it to finish it off because it wasn't like I could just finish it off like that. You know what I mean? I had to get his approval. I had to wait for him to say, hey, this is cool, Riskie, or I like this. You know what I mean? Once I got that all together from Tupac, it took me about, it's probably going to sound crazy. I don't even want to say 7 days to put people a thrill, like, wow, he did it in 7 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could have took that. It could have took that amount of time between me meeting and showing covers and showing mock-up drawings and actually creating the real. Because I was just usually from a meeting if I met with somebody because I was the type of person that, you know, to be truthfully honest, back in the day, I used to just chill at death row, smoke my weed, and draw shit all day. You know what I mean? So I would be the type of person, I would go sit in the meeting with Nate Dogg. I'll go back there, smoke my weed. I'll draw his shit. It'll be done in a day. It'll be sitting in the back office. They'll tell me I have 3 or 4 weeks. When that shit is due, I'll go get it out the office and I'll turn it in. It's already there. I've already got it done. So a lot of times I did chilling around the office because I would do my work fast. So that's how I would end up at the studios a lot, meeting people.
You don't have to answer this, of course. Would you care to speak about the back cover that was never released?
I mean, the back cover is what it is. Everybody know I put it on my site. Well, I actually put it on my site because somebody else had picked up on the story and spreaded it. So I was like, fuck it. Why let somebody else spread something that don't even really know about it when I could just go ahead and take a stand for it myself. Everybody else gonna blame me for it anyway. You know what I mean? I did the artwork, but half of the artwork was done by me and half of the artwork was done by Hen Dog. I created the Piggy Buffy scene, and Hen Dog created the Dr. Dre scene. You feel me? That
Yeah.
it is what it was. Tupac wanted it. It never happened because of the magnitude of that album, and then after he passed, it never happened.
When you were working on it, did you realize how big that album was going to be?
You know what? When I was working on it, I never had an idea I knew how big All Eyes on Me was. I guess I could say that I knew it was going to be a big album, but when you're right there sitting with people, you know what I mean? Like everybody else, it's like it's hard for me to really explain right now. It's like I'm sitting with people. It's like you sitting with people. It's your family. It's people you just chill with, whatever. You just there. You feel me? You're not looking at it how everybody else is on the outside looking like, oh, this is big shit. You feel me? It's gonna blow. Or they're up there. They're this. It never seemed like that to me because I was right there in the company of those people. So when I was working on that album, I knew that the album was going to be big, but I never knew that it was going to reach the magnitude that it was going to reach, and I never knew that that album was going to be released after he passed. That was eerie to me because it was already eerie for me to do the cover in the first place.
Did you have any reservations about putting Tupac on a cross?
I mean, I'm not going to say that I had no reservations about it because this is what he wanted to do, and that's what I was paid to do. I was paid to do my job there. And after I had been through so much shit that what I've been through, I would have did anything that I had to do to be able to feed my family. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I did what was necessary and what he wanted because I was his artist at that time, and I was an artist for the label, so I made it happen.
Do you remember when he finally approved that cover?
Wow, he approved that cover on, let me see, I'm going to say September the 6th. Was it September 6th?
Yeah,
it was the day.
In your 6 days in, 1 day out. That's what
It was the day before we went to Vegas. I turned in the back cover. I turned him in 2 pictures that I had just got from the graphics company G2. Roy and Norris sent me down there, told me I needed to take it down there for him to see it. Took it down there to him. I had my friend Janella drive me down there because I wasn't driving at that time. She drove me down there. I took it down to him on the 6th. Showed it to him. He was geeked about it. It was all good. At that time, they were about to give me an art show. We had sat down and talked about that briefly. I was about to start doing stuff at his house. He was going to have me for this art show that Death Row was going to give me. I was going to be their first artist off of Death Row, like painter, like artist, like they were going to pump me. And the rest of it is history.
After the incident in Vegas, and I'm not asking you to speak on anything intricate, that incident, Tupac's death, of course, did it have an impact on your artwork? Did it change the atmosphere at Death Row?
Oh yeah, the atmosphere had changed. It really changed. It changed. We went from a happy family to sadness, like, you know what I mean, and then not to know which direction the label was gonna be going. It was like everybody was on the edge with what was gonna happen, and on the edge with each other. Because I mean, Suge was in jail at that time. Like everything was crazy. Like it was really crazy. And yeah, it did change my work because I didn't know if I was gonna be doing it again.
When did they approach you about doing the Christmas on Death Row album?
Wow. Christmas on Death Row. Christmas on Death Row is so hard to just think about. Like, you know, Hidden Dog had did a couple of pieces. It never was even going to be my plan to even do the cover for Christmas on Death Row. I was just going to do some different art. It just so happens my piece made the cover. Feel me? They came in, Hidden Dog came at me. He told me they was going to start putting some artwork together for Christmas on Death Row. He told me to get together a couple of ideas. I worked on my piece, and it just so, like I said, it just so happened to make the cover.
Now, what is your goal today with the Inkwell? And you have a website called www.theinkwell.com. What is your main goal today? Is it to get your artwork out there and spread a message to youth, or do you have a completely different game plan or vision?
I mean, I have a vision, and I have a game plan, and I have a message. So it's kind of hard to put all, to explain everything all to you all at once one time. But I'm gonna just tell you like this: my message is let kids know from my neighborhood, from my area, that where there's a will, there is a way. You feel me? And I want to be a positive force of guidance for any kid that's over here to have any creative knowledge or experience. I want to go to the next level. Like I tried to take my career, I'm here to guide them. That's where my positive force comes in from my outlook on it and what I want to create in this area right now with my store, the Inkwell. I want to just bring something positive to my neighborhood. You feel me? I want to be able to bring a spot where I can have. I do work with celebrities here and there. I want to have a spot where I can have a couple celebrities come through here where they won't be afraid to come to Compton. They'll stop through here and they'll deal with me on my legendary status if they're looking for artwork. That's what type of spot I want to have right here, where people can come here, they can have photo shoots, they can get whatever they want to get art related here at this spot, and also bring their kids in here and their kids can learn something too. That's what I want to create here with this.
What's next for Riskie Brent?
I mean, hopefully the next thing for me is to get my art back the way it was in '96, is just keep moving with it, to be, to be a successful artist at the same day, to where I can go to sleep with no worries and wake up with none.
Well, thank you, Riskie. I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem.
Real quick, as an announcer, I always ask everybody this. Do you have any words for Tupac fans?
I mean, the words that I would have for him, I don't even want to seem selfish, but I wish he never would have left. Like, my life would not be, my life would probably be way different if he was still here. Feel me? Because, he made me just kind of believe in me once I saw my first piece get that. That was my first piece of published artwork, on his album, you know what I mean? So he kind of made Riskie that name right now. At least for the people out there that understand my legendary status out there. So I mean, I just wish he was still here. I just wish that day, it wouldn't happen that way. I wish he was still here. Even if I wasn't working with him today, I would still like to see him still here right now.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Hey all, it's Jmix here, and I want to thank everybody that took the time to watch the video. If you liked it, go ahead and throw it a like, maybe even a comment down below. And if you really like my content, check out my Patreon. The link is down below. For $1 a month, you get all the live streams, unedited as soon as they happen, plus interviews in advance and other bonus content. The link is in the description. If not, you guys could always watch one of the videos to the side of me. See you on the next upload. One love, everybody.